Use my affiliate link to support the channel down in the description.
Hey, what's up, guys? We are at Genesis Gaming, and we have returning guest Steve. A lot of people really loved your last Pendulum deck profile and your combo videos, so we're here to give you an update, post-Legacy of Destruction. And what do you have for us today?
I basically got, Pendulum. I guess you can call it Dracoslayer Pendulum Performapal. It's just an assortment. Pendulum pile is the way I kind of describe it. Not the Magician build that I know a lot of you guys seen before, but I do think that this is the best way to play this deck now. It's very fun to play. There's so many options, so many different things you could do. We lost a couple cards with Baron. We lost Baron and Savage. But there's other ways to make up for it. This deck still has some powerful plays. Unfortunately, the Pendulum mechanic is still a little bit restricted, but they're making up for it by, printing so many great cards like this one here that just came out in Legacy of Destruction. So, I would definitely recommend, if you guys liked the older profiles, give this one a try. I guarantee you'll like it. I have a deep passion for Pendulum, so I think I've almost perfected this style of the deck. So we'll get right into it.
Awesome. 40 card main deck?
Absolutely. The first of the new cards is Legacy of Destruction card, Pendulum Witch. What this card does, on normal or Pendulum summon, you can target a card in your Pendulum zone, destroy it and this card, and you can add a level 4 Pendulum, level 4 or lower Pendulum from deck to hand. So this is really good for triggering cards like the one Dracoslayer card here, which would be Ignis.
Yeah.
Because if this is in the scale or on the field and you pop it, you could summon a Dracoslayer from deck. So these two combo really well. And then this card gets you into a really busted card, which is Wakaushi. So you don't have to play the bike to search this card, because I think that card just inevitably ends up bricking you in the grind game, so you don't really have to worry about it. But yeah, this searches for this, and it doesn't put any spells in your graveyard, so I think it's really worth playing this over the bike. But you can also play the bike if you want, because you could do stuff with Excel. You can make this Pater, so it's also pretty good. But I think this is a little more tailored towards the style of the deck. So 3 of that, because you want to open it. And then, as I said, we got 3 of the Super Heavy Samurai Wakaushi. I don't do the crazy stuff. I don't search any of the souls. I just use this as a free level 4 tuner extender, because this opens up the Dracoslayer plays with any of your normal summons. And it's just so free. Set your scale up when you synchro summon with it. And then, you just got the one bend that goes with it. Card bricks. Don't use this being a brick as an excuse to put it up to 2, because you're either going to see it or you don't, and you don't want to increase your chances of seeing it so you can resolve it, because then you're going to see it more. That's my logic. If you see it, it sucks, but there is a great way to spin this card back. Say you open this card and you get access to Wakaushi, you can always make this guy, destroy a card, spin this guy back into the deck, then you're able to resolve Wakaushi. So there are plenty of ways to deal with it. This is just really good. You could play, again, the extra Super Heavy Samurai stuff, but this is basically just a build tailored towards the best Pendulum cards to create the best end board and keep advantage going. Next, obligatory, got the Astrograph Sorcerer. If a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you summon it from hand, and then you can add a copy of the destroyed card. Or any card that was destroyed that turn, as long as it resides in the place that it was when it was destroyed. So if it was destroyed and sent to the extra deck, and then you Pendulum summoned it, and then it went back to the extra deck, you could not search that. But if it stayed there when it was destroyed and sent there, you can get any card that was destroyed. So really, really good. Nice CR here.
Such a broken and nice looking card.
And you love destroying cards, so you could trigger this multiple times. You could loop it with the new Exceed here. It's just so good. And then to complement that, we have 3 Chrono. If Astro didn't exist, this guy would be the next best extender, when you're destroying cards, because he summons himself from hand and another monster. And so it basically, if you have this and like the Pendulum Witch, as we were explaining earlier, this combos really well with this card too. Because even if you don't have something good to destroy, you destroy this, destroy your scale, get a search of Wakaushi, then you could summon this guy out from hand and another monster and keep going before you even make Beyond, before you even Pendulum summon. Because that's the goal. You want to do as much as you can before you Pendulum summon, because your Pendulum summon, everyone knows, is where your strongest plays are coming from. So bait out is force them to use as much as they can. And then also in the scale, it's an extender. We do play the the time star to go with it, because you put this guy in the scale and then you could summon this guy from the deck. So even if you don't have any way to destroy him and summon him from hand, you just put him in scale and get this guy from the deck, and then that's your free beyond before you pendulum summon.
Oh, wow.
So again, he's a dual purpose card. I really think you honestly have to play it.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to the next engine. We play the One of Revolution. We don't use his hand effect, but his hand effect is you can discard it, pay 500, and add any level 8 or lower Pendulum Dragon from deck to hand. You can search Dark Worm. It's a really good card, but we use it for its scale effect. So its scale effect says you could target one Dragon, Fusion, Synchro, or Exceed in your graveyard. Destroy this card, and if you do, you summon that back, so as long as it was properly summoned. So you basically use this card in combination with Ignis, because this is a soft once per turn. So you just keep looping this guy, summoning him back from grave, and summoning more Dracoslayers. So that's pretty much what this guy's for, and it also combos with this card. So basically, your setup is this guy will be in your scale. You that guy synchros in your grave. This is on your field. You go to destroy this. If your Pendulum card would be destroyed, you use this guy to Foolish Burial a spellcaster instead, so you'd be able to send cards like this, or a card that I'll show you later. So yeah, we'll get into that a little more, but yeah, this is just one. That's all you need. So you can add it back to your hand again with the new Exceed right here. So yeah, I really think you only need one. So one of that. And then the next is one Performapal Odd Eyes Dissolver. It's basically how you make your Vortex Dragon. If you summon this guy to the field, you could fuse, and you could use one of your scales. So you use that guy to make Vortex Dragon, or in the scale, he's just a poly too. But and he also does have another relevant effect. At the start of the damage step, if your Pendulum battles, you could spec him from hand. You take no damage, and then your monster can't be destroyed by battle. So he does summon himself because he is a scale or a level 8. So you can't really naturally Pendulum summon him in this deck, but it's still worth playing.
Yeah.
And then you got a couple more one-ofs, one Monkey Board, one Lady Ange. Basically, the combo with these guys is you Pendulum summon out this. Another way to destroy cards, you destroy 2 cards, search for this and this, then you scale this, search for this, and then you can discard these 2 and draw 2 cards. So those 3 are good one-ofs. I would probably play Monkey Board at more, because it's nice sometimes to just normal summon Joker, get Monkey Board, get your other scale for free without having to invest 2 cards into your Pendulum scales. So yeah, and then Lady Ange, as I just said, you could discard it in a Performapal to draw 2 cards, and everyone should know what Monkey Board does. So yeah, 3 really good one-ofs. Definitely play them. And then one of the best normal summons in the deck aside from Witch is Joker. Joker searches for this. It searches for Harmonizing Magician. And that's pretty much all you really need in life. These 2 are the best things to Pendulum summon in your deck. So any way to get to them off of your normal summon is really good. So yeah, 3 of this card. You have 6 normal summons in the deck pretty much that you get insane cards off of, so you're going to get there before you Pendulum summon, hopefully. And then excuse the rarities, but then we got 3 of this guy. Really good for, as I just said, popping 2 cards and searching 2 different named Performapals to get your fusion plays going, get your draw 2 going. And then, yeah, so 3 of this guy, you definitely want to open it. Destroying your cards is really good. Again, you destroy the Ignis, you destroy this guy in the scale, summon from deck. So,
do you just want to open him? Is that why it's at 3, or is it more of a grind game thing?
Well, it's also at 3 as well, too, because believe it or not, this deck now kind of struggles a little bit to have low scales, where it was the other way around before.
Yeah.
So it's a really good 2 scale. Again, I think it's worth playing. This deck is kind of tailor-made to, like, obviously you want to go first. If you go first uninterrupted, you could pretty much win the game. So consistency-wise, as long as you have scales, you can turn any of your monsters into any of your monsters, basically. So I mean, if you open multiple of this card, it's honestly fine. You just put it in the scale, and then you can just keep. All you need is to Pendulum summon 1, and you just need the monsters to be level 4 as well. So, and then for the magicians, we play 2 Harmonizing, 1 Time Gazer, and 2 Celestial. This summons either of these from the deck, so free rank 4s, free synchro 8s. You can even make synchro 7s with this card. Wow. Still the best thing to Pendulum summon for magicians. In this card, if it was normal or special summon this turn, you can activate the effect based on the other monsters you control. If you control a different Pendulum, you can add a Pendulum during the end phase. If you control a synchro monster, they can't activate your opponent can't activate monster effects for the rest of the turn. So there is ways to get this out, get this on the field, and then do that before you even before you even summon 5 times. So that's really good. And this is also a Performapal and a Magician, which comes up for Monkey Board because it needs a Performapal in the scale.
Yeah.
So, but that's all you need for the Magicians. I don't think you really need any more. And then we'll get into kind of the bread and butter of the deck now. Got triple Ignis, the Dracoslayer Ignis Phoenix. This is basically a plush fire for Dracoslayers. If it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can summon a Dracoslayer from your deck and you can make it a tuner monster. So this is really good, so you don't have to play Luster anymore because he can only synchro into his own stuff or exceed into his own stuff. So yeah, and this is, again, it combos with so many cards in this deck. It combos with the Sorcerer, you know, it combos with, you know, the Astrograph Sorcerer when you destroy it, combos with the Pendulum Witch. So opening this card with any of these cards really is just insane half the time. So yeah, 3 of this, you want to maximize it. Scale 7. You only have level 4s and a level 6 that you really care to Pendulum summon consistently, so 7 is a perfect scale as well too. There's plenty of high scales.
Nice.
And if you do decide to play a little bit different style of the deck, his scale effect is good too, because during the main phase you could shuffle a face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck into the deck, and then you can add a non-Pendulum Dracoslayer Ignite. So that's really good for searching those archetypal boss monsters, but I do not play those, so... And then the other one that's really good is Majesty Pegasus. If you have this as well, this also combos really well with this because you could target another Dracoslayer or Majespector in your zone with this card. Add a different name than the other zone that you targeted, and then you can destroy a card on the field. So if you have these in your scale, you basically would use this effect, targeting this, search for this, pop this, and then use this guy's effect again to summon this from the deck, and then that gets you your field spell. So definitely 3 of Majesty Pegasus for that exact reason. And then 3 of this guy, a little less important, but still a good extender. You could just target another one of your Dracoslayers in the scale and then just special summon it. Again, any way to let you go into Beyond before you Pendulum summon is pretty much the goal here. So that's that. And then when you tribute it, because there is a way to tribute it to summon this guy, we tribute it in another Pendulum, you can add a Dracoslayer from extra deck to hand. So that's really good. Yep, 3 of this guy. And then we played 3 Curtain Raiser. It's still a level 4 extender in the deck. As I just said, you want to make Beyond before you Pendulum summon. And just letting you guys know, if they Ash or Impermanence Beyond, you can still use monster effects and stuff. So if they do this, you go this, you get any of your extenders, go into this, and they interrupt it. And then you have a normal summon something else, make another one, and just do it again. So
Awesome.
And then the last monster is Majespector Unicorn Kirin. Card's finally back. There's plenty of ways for you to get access. Again, Beyond searches this card. You can keep summoning it from your graveyard with this, summon it from your hand off your end phase searches with Celestial. It's so easy to get to. 1 is honestly fine. It's a low scale as well too, if you ever are lacking on those, as I just said. So, but yeah, that's it for the monsters. And the only spell card that we play is Sky Iris. The only reason we play this is because it searches for your Odd Eyes monsters by destroying a face-up card you control. You could search for this, or you could search for this. But again, the most important part of that is that it destroys a face-up card you control. So again, we love destroying cards, so that's the goal. And a searchable way to destroy cards is really good, and then that searches for a Monster Reborn, or searches for a Vortex Dragon pretty much. So really important to play that card. And that card is searched off of Majesty Pegasus, because when it's Pendulum summoned or summoned off the effect of a Dracoslayer, you add a field spell from deck to hand, and then you discard a card. So really good. One little combo that you could do with that basically is when you Pendulum summon both of these, you resolve this as Chainlink 1, this is Chainlink 2. So you pop a card, get the search for this guy, get the search of this for this, and then you use this as your discard to get that in the grave to summon it back with Selene or something like that, and that's your fusion play.
Awesome.
That's pretty much the main deck, 40 cards. You notice no hand traps, no generic cards or anything like that. You either are going to win with what you have or not. The deck has no problem going second if you have a really good hand and a way to bait through stuff. No deck can play through 5-6 negates. I don't care what it is. You know, So, you know, it's a really fun deck to play. Don't let it discourage you that you don't see triple tack or ash or anything like that. You really don't need the cards. All you need is your scales and spam 5 every turn. So, but we'll go on to the extra deck now. 40 cards in the main. We play 2 Exceed the Pendulum. This is a new card from Age of Overlord. It takes 2 plus effect monsters, including a Pendulum, and on Link Summon, you can add a Pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck to your hand. You could abuse cards like this multiple times, and again, you could abuse Astrograph multiple times. And then its other effect is during the main phase, quick effect. You can special summon a Pendulum from hand or grave with a level in between your current scales. So really good for the grind game, getting back your Pendulums from grave. There's a part in your combo where you have a 12 scale, and then you have Big Ben in your scale as well, who just so happens to be a level 1. So when you have that, there's parts in the combo where this guy will be in your grave, who's a level 8. And then you could use her effect, because your scales are from 1 to 12, to summon this guy from the graveyard. Ooh. So that's really cool. Yeah. Again, the more you play this deck, the more you realize how much you can do. So 2 of this card, because again, it's just so good. The arrows are perfect. The grind game helps really well with this card. Even if you can't Pendulum summon, you make this and just revive something from grave. It's a free Appaloosa. So really good Link 3. It's really what the deck needed. And then as well, you play 2 Beyond. This is your Link 2. On Link Summon, you pay 1,200 while it's in the extra monster zone to add a Pendulum monster from deck to hand. But the next thing you have to do is Pendulum Summon, or your scales are negated and you can't activate monster effects. But that's completely fine. Searching for any Pendulum is just absolutely insane. The scales are good. And if you Pendulum Summon 2 different levels to her zones, you can destroy 2 cards on the field. So going second, it's even better. So,
you think 2 is mandatory?
2 is absolutely mandatory. Exceed, you may be able to get away with 1 of this card because you do have access to Selene, but I think 2 of this is absolutely mandatory, 100%. With all the extenders that you have in your deck, even if you get a couple cards taken away from your first turn field, being able to make that again to get another card to Pendulum Summon or fix your scales is really good. And then your only Link 4 is Appaloosa. This ends the combo. Again, we have cards to get free Link 4s, which is our Link 3s. So you might as well abuse this, and they either have to waste their battle phase to get over it or play through 2 negates at least. Sometimes even more. You can even make this with 4 negates with busted hands. So yeah. Appaloosa is really good. We lost a lot of negates, so it's still a negate that we have access to. And then 1 Selene. This is still good. You still have to play it. It pretty much serves the same purpose as this card, minus the add back from extra deck. But it's just really good. You can even abuse both of these in 1 turn to get the double revive from grave. So yeah, I think you just still have to play it.
You just like the option to be able to go into both?
Yes, absolutely. And then obligatory. These cards are just nuts. There's no explanation needed here. And then we got Vortex Dragon. Sorry for the rarity. This is our Omni Negate that we make with the Dissolver, as I was explaining earlier. So it's free, and by the way, if it's properly summoned, so you can even revive it from the graveyard with cards like Revolution Dragon too if they destroy it. So that's really good because, again, he revives Dragon, Fusion, Sync, or Xyz. So really good. And then on summon, he could bounce a face-up attack position monster your opponent controls. Really good for playing around things that float, Mirror Jade, etc., etc. One of this guy, you could tribute a Dracoslayer and a Pendulum to special summon him from the extra deck, so that's synergized with that Draco Dynamite guy I told you about. That's how you tribute him. And then he summons a Dracoslayer from hand or grave. Really good extension. Just play it. It's how the Dracoslayer engine kind of loops free advantage. And then 1 Xyz, Majesty Paladin. On Xyz summon during the end phase, you can add a Pendulum, so that's a way to add the Kirin to your hand to summon with the Exceed the Pendulum. You can add Astro, Chronograph, really good, and then you can detach to summon a Dracoslayer from your face-up extra deck, so you have to summon it to his own, but again, really good. This is the other Exceeds that you have during the combo, and then you make Time Star. Time Star takes 2 Magicians, so you make it with Harmonizing and Celestial Magician. Detach to search any Dark Spellcaster, searches Astro, searches Chronograph, searches Joker, etc. Really good. And then if a card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, Pendulum-wise, you can Foolish a Spellcaster instead. So you get Dissolver in the grave, Kirin in the grave, and again, summon him back with Exceed. You guys should see where this is going. These will both be on your field, so after you're done with your combo, you slap this guy down, and then you slap that guy down. Really good. Again, I wanted another negate in here. You could also play Infinity and stuff, but I think this requires 1 less extra deck spot. And then protection with a negate, I think, is a little better than a pure Omni negate, in my opinion. So I elected to go with this guy. And again, if some decks really can't out this card, it might auto win. So yeah, we play it.
100%.
And then the last card is one synchro, Ignista Prominence. Once per turn, you could target a pendulum card on the field or in the pendulum zone. So even in the mirror match, you can pop your opponent's cards, and then you can non-target shuffle a card on the field into the deck. Again, you could put your Big Ben in the deck if you draw it to use your Wakaushi. You could put so much stuff back, but the most important effect is soft once per turn. You can summon a Dracoslayer from your deck in defense position. So, and that's, again, you abuse that with the Revolution Dragon. You get the you get the Revolution Dragon off the Sky Iris that you got from the Majesty Pegasus, and he gets you Majesty Pegasus, so that he gets you this, which gets you this, which gets you this. It's so good. It's why you play it. And with with the double search, or with the double spectrum deck that you abuse it twice, you really just get so much free link material. So yeah, you don't need to play anymore. I would play Savage and Baron, but unfortunately, this is the last synchro remaining in the deck. So I really implore you guys to try this deck out. I know a lot of you like the Magicians. This plays very similarly to the deck as far as what it can do. So I think you guys should give it a try. And let me know in the comments what you think about it, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you guys have. So
awesome. Thank you so much for coming back on the channel.
Thanks for having me on.
This is a special treat. You guys will enjoy this, so thank you very much. Make sure to leave a like and comment down below what you guys thought of Steve's profile if you guys have any questions. And we will be seeing you guys later. Have a great day.
Yep.